History is often shaped by kings, generals, and armies. Sometimes it is shaped by nature. In the late 13th century, the greatest empire the world had ever seen stood on Japan's doorstep. The Mongol Empire had conquered China, Korea, Central Asia, Persia, Russia, and much of Eastern Europe. Entire civilizations had fallen before them. Very few believed Japan could survive. Yet today, Japan remained unconquered. Why? For centuries, the answer has been simple: a divine wind. But was it really just one miraculous storm? Or was the story far more complicated? Tonight, we'll explore one of history's greatest turning points. By the 1270s, the Mongol Empire dominated much of Eurasia. Its armies were legendary for speed, organization, discipline, and brutality. They had crushed the Jin dynasty, destroyed the Song dynasty, conquered Korea, subdued Tibet, overrun Persia, burned cities across Eastern Europe. No military power seemed capable of stopping them. Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, now ruled China as emperor of the Yuan dynasty. His next target lay across the sea: Japan. Japan had never attacked the Mongols. Instead, the conflict began with diplomacy. Kublai Khan demanded that Japan acknowledge Mongol supremacy and pay tribute. Japanese officials ignored his letters. More letters followed. Again, they were ignored. From Kublai's perspective, refusal was rebellion. Conquest would demonstrate that no kingdom could reject Mongol authority. Japan was politically divided. The emperor remained an important symbolic figure. Real military power rested with the Kamikaze shogunate. Japanese forces were experienced warriors, but relatively few in number. They had never faced an army as enormous as the Mongols. Many feared this would become another Mongol conquest. In November 1274, the invasion fleet crossed the Korea Strait. Modern estimates suggest roughly 20,000 to 30,000 troops. Many were not ethnic Mongols. The army included Korean sailors and Chinese soldiers serving the Yuan Empire. Japanese defenders immediately noticed unfamiliar tactics. Instead of individual samurai duels, Mongol forces fought in disciplined formations. They employed coordinated volleys of arrows, explosive bombs, large shields. The battle shocked the Japanese. Japanese warfare emphasized personal combat. Individual honor mattered. The Mongols emphasized military efficiency. Units fought together. Signals coordinated attacks. Chinese engineers supplied gunpowder bombs. These explosive devices terrified defenders unfamiliar with such weapons. Japan faced one of the world's most advanced military machines. As night approached, Mongol commanders withdrew their fleet offshore. Exactly why remains debated. Perhaps they intended to continue fighting the next day. Then came severe weather. Historical accounts describe violent winds damaging many vessels. Ships were driven onto rocks. Others collided. Many soldiers drowned. The surviving fleet retreated. Japan had survived? Japanese tradition interpreted the storm differently. It was no ordinary weather. It was divine intervention. The gods themselves had protected Japan. The storm became known as Kamikaze, the divine wind. This story would become one of Japan's defining national legends. One defeat would not end Mongol ambitions. Kublai Khan ordered an even larger invasion. Shipyards across China and Korea worked relentlessly. Thousands of vessels were constructed. The next expedition would dwarf the first. Although historians debate exact numbers, nearly all agree the second invasion was enormous. Some estimates exceed 140,000 personnel. Modern scholars generally suggest somewhat lower numbers. Regardless of the exact total, it was likely the largest seaboard invasion ever attempted before the 20th century. Japan faced overwhelming odds. Japan had learned from 1274. Along Hakata Bay, defenders built impressive stone walls stretching for miles. These walls prevented ships from landing easily. Samurai launched nighttime attacks in small boats. They boarded enemy ships, killed officers, burned vessels, delayed the invasion for weeks. The Mongols could not establish a secure beachhead. Then history repeated itself. In August 1281, a powerful typhoon struck the invasion fleet. Thousands of ships smashed together. Others broke apart. Many drifted onto shore. Countless soldiers drowned. Archaeological excavations around Takashima Island continue to uncover anchors, weapons, armor, and shipwrecks from this disaster. The fleet ceased to exist as an effective fighting force. Popular history often says the storm alone saved Japan. Reality was more complicated. Japanese defenses had improved dramatically. The stone walls prevented landings. Constant raids weakened the fleet. Poor logistics delayed the invasion. Many hastily built ships were poorly suited for open seas. The Typhoon delivered the final blow to an invasion already struggling. Nature mattered. So did preparation. Counterfactual history can never provide certainty. Yet the consequences might have been profound. A successful conquest could have reshaped Japanese government. Chinese administration may have spread across the islands. Samurai society might have evolved differently, or disappeared entirely. The cultural and political identity of Japan could have taken a dramatically different course. The phrase divine wind endured for centuries. During World War II, Japan revived the term kamikaze for suicide pilots. Leaders hoped these aviators would once again become a divine force protecting Japan from invasion. The symbolism reached back nearly 700 years to the storms that had defeated the Mongols. Modern underwater archaeology has transformed our understanding of these invasions. Divers have recovered anchors weighing hundreds of pounds, stone ballast, ceramics, armor, arrowheads, fragments of ships. These discoveries confirm that enormous fleets once filled these waters and suffered catastrophic destruction. The sea itself became a historical archive. The story of the divine wind reminds us that history is never inevitable. Empires can appear unstoppable. Generals can make brilliant plans. Armies can number in the hundreds of thousands. Yet sometimes the outcome depends upon weather, geography, logistics, and timing. The Mongol Empire conquered much of the known world. Japan became one of the few places it could never hold. The Mongol invasions of Japan remain one of history's greatest what-if moments. Whether viewed as divine intervention, extraordinary luck, or the convergence of careful preparation with devastating weather, the result changed history. Japan remained independent. The legend of the divine wind entered history. And one of the greatest empires ever assembled discovered that even overwhelming military power could not always overcome the forces of nature. The storm that swept across the waters in 1281 did more than destroy ships. It preserved a nation and altered the future of East Asia forever.